for joining us here on Indivisible. I'm your host, John Stubbins. We're coming to you live from CPAC 2023, and I am here with my great friend, Gordan Chang. Gordan, how you doing, brother?
I'm fine, John. Thank you so much.
Sorry it's been so long since we had you on the show. They had us totally censored. We had to move to television. Got a new website built, which is finally secure, so we're thrilled to have you back. And Gordan is one of our regulars, as you know, and we always keeps us up to date on what's going on with Xi and China. What is going on over there? What are they doing?
Well, the most important thing they're doing, John, is they're preparing to go to war. Xi Jinping, at the 20th National Congress of the Communist Party in October, appointed what is now called his war cabinet. Of course, he is sponsoring the biggest military buildup since the Second World War. He's trying to sanction-proof his regime, and most ominously, he is mobilizing China's civilians for war. And by the way, they fly spy balloons
That's
over
crazy.
countries.
No, I saw that, right? It's like, how many balloons is this guy going to try to fly over the America? You know what's amazing? Dr. Peter Pry, God rest his soul, died a few months ago. But I've had Dr. Pry on so many times. We've talked about the EMP and the electrical grid, the water supply, right? Yeah. All these different things to be able to say, oh, you're nuts. Why would you? You're a scaremonger. Oh, really? Yeah. Look at what China's doing, right? Here's a question. And the civilian buildup, I thought was very interesting, that the civilians are all in on that. Are they doing it because they're forced to, or are the civilians doing it because they really want to?
Oh, they're being forced to.
Okay.
China has had a number of new laws, including a reserve military law, which is about a call-up of civilians. Hasn't occurred yet, but they are preparing to do that, and they have a national defense law that was amended as of the first day of 2021, which basically transfers power from the State Council, which is a civilian central government body, to the Communist Party's Central Military Commission, which controls the military. Oh. So what you're seeing is, and that's about mobilization of civilians. So they're getting ready to do this, John.
How many civilians are we talking about?
Well, there's 1.41 billion Chinese civilians.
Wow. That's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Do they all have guns? Are they like America? You know what I mean?
No, they don't. There's no Second Amendment in China. Matter of fact, there is no first, third, fourth, fifth, or whatever.
Exactly. You know, what's interesting, the last time Gordan was on, we were really deep enthralled in what she was doing and the Wuhan virus and where are we with that? In that investigation, I know because a lot of people really care about that still. Is the investigation moving at all there?
It is moving. It's moving slowly. First of all, Biden is not curious about this.
Of course not.
He's had 5 video or phone calls with Xi Jinping, and he actually had the in-person meeting in November at the G20.
That's right.
Not once has he raised the issue of COVID-19. Really what we need to do is just put pressure. The Energy Department recently, we found out, believes that this was a lab leak, but the only reason why they were actually thinking about this was because people have been pressuring the intelligence community to find out where this is going. As you know, Jake Sullivan, the National Security Advisor, says there's no consensus, and obviously Biden's not going to move until 100% of everybody in the United States believes it was a lab leak.
Exactly. But the pressure's got to be so immense that they're ready to burn him at the stake, right? Yeah. Before they'll move.
But, you know, John, we know one thing. You know, there's this whole issue of the origin of SARS-CoV-2, the pathogen that causes COVID-19. But there's one thing we know 100%, and that is that once this disease got out into the Chinese population, Xi Jinping deliberately decided to spread it beyond China's borders. They lied about contagiousness. They knew it was highly transmissible human to human. They told the world it was not. And then while they were locking down their own country, they were pressuring other countries to take arrivals from China without travel restrictions or quarantines. You put those two things together, 100%. They spread this beyond China's borders. So if it didn't start out as a biological weapon, they turned it into one.
It's just pure evil. It's just pure evil, and we've talked about it time and time again, and all the players involved with Xi. Quick question. A lot of people are saying, and I don't know the truth to this, but I know you would know a lot more about this. Do you believe that we've got a literal new axis of evil with Russia, with China, with some players like Iran from the Middle East? Is that what we're looking at, another axis of evil?
That's formed.
Yeah.
We have China and Russia at the core.
That's what I thought.
There are proxies like Iran, North Korea, maybe Algeria are becoming part of it. And so they're acting in coordination. Well, we see this with the Ukraine war with China and Russia.
Right.
That 5,300-word joint statement they issued February 4th of last year, that's when they declared their no limits partnership. And so we know no limits means no limits. And China's been supplying lethal assistance to Russia for use in the Ukraine war, and the administration doesn't want to acknowledge it.
Of course not. Of course not. And then you look at Iran, they're getting closer with those centrifuges. I mean, every day it's like, you know that enriched uranium, look, now, for me, the question's going to be, and I would talk to Mark Levin about this specifically, with Israel. Let's say that Iran even has a couple missiles that they can take off here within the next year. I don't know if we're that close, but it's getting closer. Will Iran immediately attack Israel? Would it be Israel first, or would it be a proxy against the United States first?
Yeah, we don't know that. We don't know what the mullahs are thinking, but we know their capabilities. And I mean, they were caught with almost 86% pure uranium, so that's weapons grade,
right,
or very close to it. They have the capability of developing, enough uranium for a nuclear warhead.
Yes.
We know they've got missiles thanks to North Korea, which means thanks to China. So yes, this is
serious.
This is getting very close.
It's very serious. What are your thoughts about? Obviously, Biden's not going to do anything. So, what are your thoughts about what our next step should be as a people, if we can do anything?
Well, we can put a lot of pressure on Biden, and we've seen this, for instance, 2021, when he instructed the intelligence community to come back to talk to him about the origins of COVID-19. Now, we've got to remember how that happened. The morning of the day he did that, CNN reported that the State Department ended a Pompeo investigation into the origins of COVID-19.
Yes.
There was outrage in Washington. There was outrage across the United States. Biden had to instruct the IC to come up with that report. Now, it was a whitewash. It was always going to be a whitewash. But it shows you, and that started the momentum that ended up in that report from the Energy Department concluding that.
I remember that.
So we can do things. We can pressure the administration. But, we can't get it to move maybe fast enough, but at least with this bottom-up pressure next 2 years, we can maybe make some headway.
That gives me some hope. God bless you, brother.
Thank you, John.
We'll have you back on my normal show soon.
Yes.
Once we get off the road here.
Thanks.
God bless you. We'll dig a little deeper into this next time.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick commercial break. Again, Gordan Chang, everybody. Big news, America. Mike is bringing back the pillow offer for just $29.98. They're the softest pillows. They don't go flat. Wash them and dry them as many times as you like, and they still keep their shape. And they're made in America. Mike is offering his premium My Pillows at his lowest price ever. Queen size for $29.98, regularly $69.98. That's a $40 savings. And king size, only $5 more. Go to mypillow.com and enter the promo code INDIVISIBLE for my show, or call 1-800-716-4639 and give them the code INDIVISIBLE for my show, and you're going to get huge savings.
My name is John Rich. I'm one half of the multi-platinum duo Big and Rich, originally from Eberle, Texas, and now I live right here in Nashville, Tennessee. I think above and beyond songs that I put out or brands that I'm with or whatever, I think what people hopefully respect about me and identify with in me is that I'm a regular guy in here. I do irregular things. I get to go do really cool, big things. But I grew up in a double wide trailer. I have a high school diploma, just like a lot of people in this country. And that's still how my head works. That's still how my brain thinks. Those are still the people I like to hang out with. I understand them much better than the people in the music industry or the television industry or anywhere else. I identify with those people. And they know that. And they've watched me step out time and time and time again over these past several years and speak my mind about our country, speak truth about what I know to be true about our country, speak about God, speak about my family, the red, white, and blue. All the while, these people know, I bet John's getting slapped around somewhere, because you're not supposed to be able to say stuff like that in the wide open and be a successful entertainer. That's not possible anymore. It's called cancel culture, but he's still doing it. And they know I'm getting slapped, and they know I'm getting hit. But here's the thing. I tell all my fans, I go, listen, people that hate me for my love of my country is validation that I said it correctly. You know, the American dream is different for every single American that you'll ask. What is your American dream? For me, it's making music and being an entrepreneur. For somebody else, it may be, you know what? Instead of going to college, I became a welder. And my American dream is to own my own welding company someday. And I'm going to have 10 welders that work for me. And I'm going to teach my son how to weld, and he's going to take it from there. And I think that I represent tens of millions of Americans that think just like that, whether they've actually grabbed that dream yet or they're still in pursuit of it. This is what Old Glory Bank is all about. This is the platform that you can plant your feet on and not worry about somebody pulling the rug out from under you at the very, very worst possible time. And I think Old Glory Bank is one of those moves that you can make as an individual if you want to say, you know what, I'm tired of the way I'm being treated. I'm tired of being taken for granted. I'm tired of being laughed at and looked down upon. I'm going to go somewhere where they think like I think. They respect me for who I am, because they are me. We are each other. We're Americans that have each other's back. But when Old Glory Bank, when that idea came around to me, I said, that is not only a great idea, that is a necessary idea. And I'm honored to be a part of it.
Thanks for joining us here on Indivisible. I'm your host, John Stubbins. We're coming to you live from CPAC 2023, and I've got an amazing guest here with me, my great friend Bobby Eberle, 13-minute news hour. You can find him anywhere, YouTube, Rumble, cross social media at Bobby Eberle 13. That's his handle. Welcome to the show, Bob.
Thanks, John.
Good to see you, brother.
It is good to see you.
It's good to see you.
It's good to be here. I mean, I love CPAC because of the energy. You know, you're broadcasting, you're just rocking and rolling.
I love it.
I know, right? And there's so, it's a great time to be involved and be active. And we need people. We need your voice out there. We need others out there talking about these issues and
Yes.
getting people fired up. And we live in an age where big tech is trying to crack us down and stop us, but there's more independent voices out there.
We're rising.
And that's the thing. We're building a critical mass to where I really think that, especially with some legislative help, with a Republican
Absolutely.
House, investigating, that we can
Some
break
prosecution?
through. Yes. Oh, imagine that, right? Some
Yeah.
actual.
No. Some actual prosecution.
Right.
And, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I just had the CEO of Tusk on, and Liberation Tech is one of our partners.
Okay.
They built my website.
Yeah.
The artistic side, I don't care if it's singers.
Right.
I don't care if it's visual artists.
Right.
I had another gentleman on just a little while ago. Look, we need actors.
Yes.
We need musicians. We need visual artists. But we also need people that are building infrastructure technically on the technical side for our own social media, for our own PayPal centers. Like, I'll give you an example.
Right, yeah.
One of our other partners is Old Glory Bank,
Okay.
which is forming
Right.
John Rich, Dr. Ben Carson,
Okay.
and Larry Elder.
Right.
They started this bank called Old Glory Bank.
Okay.
It's getting ready to go online down in
Right.
Oklahoma.
Right.
And it was built specifically for us.
Well, that's
So that PayPal and these other, like with the truckers,
Right.
they just took their money, right?
Right.
That's over.
And you see what's going on with places like PayPal. It's almost like China's social credit system. If you don't behave the way that they say you should, they'll stop you from engaging in commerce.
Right.
That's what PayPal was shutting people down. And it's so great to have these alternatives. You see it with Patriot Mobile. You see it with these other
Yes.
companies that are giving conservatives a way to and it's needed, because look what happened with Parler. Everyone thought
good
that
example.
Right. Everyone thought that was it. That was the one that was going to break through, and we saw the growth, right?
Yeah.
And then we learned that, oh my gosh, they were an independent voice, but they weren't independent as far as their infrastructure.
That's right.
And then
That's right.
When Amazon and these
They were
others
tied.
that wanted to shut them down, they shut them down.
Yeah, if you're tied to Google,
Yes. Yeah.
if you're tied to Apple,
Right.
if you're tied to any of these, that's what you're looking at, and that's why. And by the way, have you been on the exhibit floor yet?
Oh, just a little bit. I'm going to go look for.
Make sure that when you go down the exhibit floor, visit Liberation Tech.
Okay.
Talk to Derek and Andrew down there.
All right, sure.
Trust me.
Yeah.
These guys are the future of what we do on the technical side.
Right.
Make sure you tell them I sent you, because they are doing wonderful work
I'll
to
visit
stop this nonsense.
Right. Well, I'll visit them for sure.
Bobby's an amazing guy, by the way. This guy, I'm going to tell you, he's a rocket scientist, okay? Guy used to drive NASCAR. He's amazing. He's like James Bond, right? Don't be fooled. Bobby, I know you want to talk a little bit about these air bases and Chinese purchase of land. Tell us all about what you've been talking about on your show.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but one of these issues that's really come to the forefront, because we see it happening nationwide, and I'll get to Texas in particular, is that China has greatly accelerated their purchasing of farmland in the United States.
We got to stop it. DeSantis is trying to shut it down.
He's trying to shut it down, but for people that don't recognize it, because they'll throw out a stat that says, China only has like 0.9% of all Chinese foreign land holdings.
Sure.
But look at the acceleration. In 2010, they owned like 13,000 acres, okay? Now it's 350,000
That's
acres.
insane.
It's like 2,400% increase in just 12 years. And in North Dakota, outside of Grand Forks Air Force Base, where they have drone technology,
I saw this. Yeah.
There's purchase there, 340 acres. Outside Laughlin Air Force Base in Texas, they tried to purchase 130,000 acres. And so
Somebody shut that down?
yeah, that's in being shut down. But so we've got a bill in Texas. It's SB 147 that says if you're affiliated with the governments of Russia, Iran, North Korea, or China, you cannot purchase land.
Good.
And it's a great bill, and it follows on the heels of a bill in the last session that said those 4 countries can't purchase critical infrastructure. And
Good.
guess what? That one had bipartisan support. And now when we come to land, the Democrats have gotten this idea that, you know what? Hey, we're going to play the race card again. Imagine that.
Oh, geez.
Imagine
Of course.
that. They're going to play the race card.
Of course. And by the way,
yeah.
look, everybody knows Texas Agricultural Commissioner Sid Miller is a good friend of this show. And so is Attorney General Ken Paxton down in Texas.
Right.
So you need my help down there in Texas. You got it.
John, I'll let you know. So this bill, Senate Bill 147, sponsored by State Senator Lois Colcourse, she's doing a great job. But I've been on the news. I'm one of the few Republican officials that are speaking out against this, because everyone cowers when the Democrats play the race card. It's like, oh man, we can't do this.
Okay.
You know?
And let me just say this now, because this is important. This keeps coming up and up and up. And I'm going to just try to square this right now, because you're right, Bobby.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at the camera and say this, okay? This race nonsense, bring it on.
Absolutely.
I want you to bring it on to me. I dare you, I challenge you to come to me and call me a racist. Because I'm going to tell you something.
Amen, man.
This is nonsense, okay? And I have so many friends from so many walks of life, and that includes black. And don't you dare come to me and call me a racist. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I will embarrass you. I'll do it on national television. I'll do it at your event. You Democrats, how dare you? You've lied to the American people about the KKK, about slavery in general, about the civil rights legislation, about Jim Crow. I've already embarrassed you on Newsmax. I will do it again. You Biden, you Obama, you Buttigieg, you make me sick. And I want to make sure that's clear. I've had it with this lie on this race nonsense. It's your party that did this.
Right. Amen. That is awesome. And And if I could just follow up a little bit, because now you got me all fired up.
It fires me up.
Right, and I can't stand it. So we have this bill. It is a national security bill. We need to protect Texas, the other states, and our country.
That's right.
And these Democrats hold rallies and say it's racist. I put out a statement blasting.
Put me out front.
Yeah.
Put me out front. I dare them to challenge me.
Exactly. And I'm out there saying this. They're playing the race card, and we are blasting this. Should not stand. And I'm like the only official. I'm a Republican county chair now outside of Houston, Fort Bend County. And I'm going to speak out like you. Anytime they play this race card,
You bring me down there.
Right.
I'll speak to these groups. Hey, we will come as a fortified front. I'll bring my black friends.
Yep.
We will come and embarrass them. And I'm going to tell you something else.
Yeah.
This is the honest to God truth. I want to lay out the real history to their constituents.
Exactly.
I want to let them know that they've been lied to for 70 years.
That's right.
Enough is enough.
That's right.
I don't know how they got away with this nonsense, but it stops now.
Right.
And we can stop it.
Right.
Let's build a fortified front, and let's put that issue number one.
And maybe that will make other Republicans officials brave enough to step up.
You've got to stop being embarrassed by this.
Exactly.
Do not be. What's the embarrassment?
Right.
They're the ones with something to hide. They're the ones doing the lying.
And they don't want to debate, so they'll play this.
They don't want to debate.
Fort Bend County, outside of Houston, that I represent, is the most diverse county in the country. And so we have constituencies all over, and they're all part of the Republican Party. Every one of them. I've got friends of every nationality and
Of course
race
you do.
and ethnicity, and we work together. And the Democrats want to divide that because they know a divided country is more controllable.
Of course.
And
Divide and
that's-
conquer.
And that's all they want to do.
That's all they do.
Yeah, exactly.
Bobby Eberle, everybody. And again, make sure that you follow Bobby. Okay, he's got an amazing show. And again, this guy's a rocket scientist. Okay, again, former NASCAR driver. He's like Bond, but only better. Instead of 07, it's 13.
That's right.
And that's Bobby Eberle 13. Make sure that you follow him. Good to see you, brother.
Thanks, man.
I can't
I
wait.
love it.
You give me a call. We'll come down to Texas.
Absolutely. Thanks, John.
God bless you.
All right, we'll see you, man.
God bless you.
Okay.
We're going to head to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Indivisible with John Stubbins is proud to support my friends Jim and Angela Holland and Set Apart Farms.
Faith-led and family-driven, we're doing things a better way for veterans and their families. For all the ways to get involved, go to setapartfarms.org.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ben Carson. Many of you know me as a pediatric neurosurgeon. Some know me as the 17th Secretary of the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development. Some of you know me presently as the founder and chairman of the American Cornerstone Institute. But I hope you all know me as a patriot. Well, I got involved with Old Glory Bank because I immediately recognized what an important institution it would be in our country. The concept of a bank that is consistent with the values that created our nation, and quite frankly, with the values of most people in this country, people who, have become discouraged and don't trust our institutions. Words Old Glory represent our flag. Our flag is such an important symbol. Each of the colors means something special. The red, the white, the blue, the stripes, the stars. Talk about the many people who've sacrificed so much to provide the freedom and opportunity that we have in this country. America needs a place like Old Glory Bank because people need to have an institution that they can trust in. And I think Old Glory can be one of the factors that will help to restore that trust. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that that happens.
By now, you've all heard me talk about Mike and his great products. Well, guess what? Mike's now introduced his MyPillow My Slippers, which are fantastic. Great on my feet, soft as can be. I love them. Mike's taken over 2 years to develop these slippers. He's designed them to wear indoor or outdoor, all day, all night long. Made with MyPillow foam and impact gel to help prevent fatigue. Made with quality leather suede. For a limited time, Mike is offering 40% off his new My Slippers. The My Slippers are so comfortable, you're going to want to get them for the whole family. Go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listener square and use promo code INDIVISIBLE. You'll also get deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the Giza Dream bed sheets, the MyPillow mattress topper, and MyPillow towel sets. Or call 1-800-716-4639 and enter INDIVISIBLE as your promo code. Thanks for joining us on Indivisible. I'm your host, John Stubbins. This is a show where we put God, family, and country first. We will always tell you the truth. This segment is going to be hosted by Citizen News Media, and I've got a great guest with me today, someone who's leading the charge and out in front on not allowing our court to be packed, Supreme Court, but keeping 9 justices in the fold and doing it by the Constitution. I want to introduce Gay Dillard to the show. How you doing, Gay?
Good, great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. Tell the audience a little bit about what you're doing, why it's so important to the American people, to them out there, and what's happening with the movement now.
So, we've been working on this for a couple of years. Over 60% of the American people want to have 9 justices. They do not want to see court packing occur. The Supreme Court is the stopping point of partisanship in our government, and we need to keep it that way. So it's important to have this amendment. We've had 154 years, we've had 9 justices.
Right.
And we need an amendment passed in Congress, then we'll go out to the states. It has to be ratified by the states.
Yes.
So this is not some fly-by-night operation. It's going to take time for people to understand the
has to be legally done.
And we need to protect our courts.
How close are we to getting that ratified?
Well, it's probably going to take a couple more years, just because we've got to, every time we get a new Congress, we have to start all over again.
That stinks.
Yeah, so we've just gone into the 118th Congress, and so we're working on getting leadership to endorse it, but a lot of people don't know what it is.
Sure.
And the thing I would tell Americans is ask anybody running for office at your state level, federal level, do you support Keep 9?
Right.
Make them put it on record that they support it, and if they don't, they need to explain why.
Absolutely. And it's really simple, isn't it?
It's very simple.
This is nothing complicated, folks.
No.
It's, do you believe in Keep 9 or don't you?
Right.
Right? At its core, that's what we're talking about here. So, do you believe, out there, do you believe that we should keep 9 justices, keep it as is? Or do you believe in the Democratic Marxist movement that believes we should pack the court, pack the decisions, make it a rigged game for everything, and just continue the destruction of our country? I don't think so.
And we'll never have another free election or fair election again in our lifetime.
Where can people go, Gay, to follow this movement, get involved? Is there a website?
There is a website. If they Google Keep 9 Amendment, it will take you to the right page.
Keep 9 Amendment, folks. Again, that's the Keep 9 Amendment. Get involved with this, because again, this is the kind of thing, if you sit back and do nothing and say nothing, and it'll go right by you. They'll be, oh, well, what happened? Well, guess what? You didn't say or do anything.
Correct.
And I think we've heard that saying before. I think it was World War II. All it takes for evil to exist is for good men and women to do nothing.
Yes.
I want to thank you for coming on the show, Gay. Thanks for introducing this. It's important that the people know. We'll get it out there.
Great.
Gay Dillard, everybody, driving again. Keep 9 justices. That's what it needs to be, and that's where it needs to stay. And if it doesn't, we're in big trouble. Thanks again, Gay, for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you.